coronavirus situation here in South Korea. Monday was the first day of the government's gradual transition back to normal life, its so-called living with COVID-19 scheme.
Yes, this means an easing of social distancing rules, including the removal of curfews for certain businesses. In Seoul and the wider capital region, gatherings will be allowed for up to 10 people and up to 12 in other regions.
So for more details, joining us in the studio for the remainder of this week is our Choi Won-jong. Welcome.
Morning.
We're all eager to find out exactly how the first day of this living with COVID-19 scheme went, and I believe you're going to give us the details.
Of course. So like you said, yesterday was the first day of the living with the COVID-19 strategy, and which gives many people and business some breathing room. The groups of more than 4 people were excited to be out on the streets and able to hang out past the previous 10 p.m. curfew. But some people were feeling hesitant about being out late despite the extended curfew. Take a listen to what they have to say.
I'm actually so used to the 10 p.m. curfew now. It doesn't feel much different, even if it is with COVID-19 now.
I think I'm going home at 10 p.m. tonight. I think a lot of people are going to be out releasing their pent-up energy, so I'm worried about a spike in infections.
So it seems like they're experiencing some, mixed emotions on this. What about business owners? What do they say?
So it has been almost a year since we saw the coffee shops and restaurants operate around the clock, but I do believe there are still worries and concerns over the potential surge. Take a listen.
I'm happy that there's no limit on business hours now, but it's hard because we already had to lay off so many staff. This is such short notice. I'm not sure how to deal with it.
And I also should point out that so-called vaccine passes were required for some businesses, meaning only fully vaccinated were allowed to use single-room saunas and gyms. And some of the businesses raised issues about the fairness of vaccine passes, but the health authority said this is inevitable to curb infections among the unvaccinated.
Yeah, we must point out that vaccinated people also get infected with COVID-19, these so-called breakthrough infections. But let's talk about projections for Tuesday's daily figure of new COVID-19 infections. Normally, we have to wait another hour or so for the official numbers, but how are the estimates looking thus far?
Just briefly, from midnight to 9 p.m., 1,323 cases were reported, 1,016 in the greater Seoul area, 307 in other regions. However, due to Halloween celebrations in some high population areas, the figure could change in next coming days. And also, the Korean Health Authority said on Monday the reproduction rate of the virus has been increasing currently at 1.3, while it was below 1 for the past 3 weeks. Now, if the rate goes above 1, it means more infections are expected. Oh, now that's a concern.
Well, I also think that, the authorities might be concerned about the possibility of the influence of the flu season.
Right, so the spread of the flu could be possible this year. So the things that previously prevented from the flu from spreading disappeared this year. So the Korean Health Authority said on Monday the flu spread seemed much lower last year due to strict mask wearing and hand washing and other personal hygiene measures. However, it's difficult to say whether it will spread widely, but the public have been urged to get the flu vaccine if possible.
Yeah, both my sons got their flu vaccine just the other day, but in regards to taking the flu vaccine and the COVID-19 vaccine on the same day, some people, especially the elderly perhaps, are worried about whether that might cause some extra complications.
Well, scientifically, I mean, you could get it at the same time. Scientifically, yes, but because the flu vaccine and the COVID vaccine are a completely different type of vaccine. But some experts actually recommend getting them at the separate days just to track any possible side effect from maybe from flu vaccines or the COVID vaccines, so just to figure out what kind of vaccine, what kind of possible side effects coming from it. So.
You have to keep in mind.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Won-jong, thank you so much for your coverage.
Of course.
It was very helpful. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Tomorrow.